Today I fucked up by not keeping my mouth shut at the dentist. Several years ago I moved and had to find a new dentist. I had 4 cavities I'd been putting off for a while, so the dentist agreed to fill them all at once. The appointment was scheduled for 2 hours. Later in the day, after work. I normally snack on a granola bar every day at work. The store was out of my regular kind, so I'd bought some chocolate banana bars. They were delicious. I couldn't help myself, and I ended up eating the entire box. On my way to the dentist, my stomach was very unhappy. I was extremely bloated. The gas came quickly, and I spent the entire drive pushing out what I could, windows down, sweating. I was getting nervous as I parked, hoping it would stop. That's when I read the box. They were fiber bars. But it was too late. The hygienist got me set up in the chair, put the nose piece on for the nitrous, and said she'd be right back. I took that as my final fart break and let loose. The smell was so bad I smelled it immediately, even with the nose piece on. The hygienist came back and did a full stop at the doorway before hesitantly proceeding. Over the next 2 hours, I emitted a steady stream of toxic waste. I mean 2 straight hours of hot silent farts. The dentist seemed weirdly unbothered, but the hygienist excused herself several times. Towards the end, she told him I'm sorry, I can't and didn't come back. He did the fillings while holding the suction hose himself for most of it. I was so mortified that I didn't go back there for over a year. When I finally did, I was hoping they'd forgotten. But as soon as I walked in, the hygienist, who also functions as a receptionist, knew my name. I figured she remembered me due to my horrific gas leak, so I apologized. Turns out she didn't remember the incident, she remembered me because I drool like a Saint Bernard. This is true, it runs down my face, it gets everywhere. She laughed. I died a little inside. I really like that dentist, so I decided to leave him a good review on Google. It basically summarized what happened and said they were very professional about it. At my next visit, my dentist mentioned it immediately, laughing about it. He told me he has no sense of smell. He had no idea it even happened. The hygienist had blamed her leaving on a medical issue or something, and didn't rat me out. I should have just kept my mouth shut. Too long didn't read. Ate a whole box of fiber bars before a long dentist appointment, leaked hot farts the entire time, didn't go back for a while, figured they remembered, turns out dentist didn't even know and found out from my review. Edit, holy crap, I picked the wrong night to forget to charge my phone and this thing got way more attention than anticipated. I am so happy that so many of you got a laugh out of this. Thank you to the people who pointed out that she was a dental assistant rather than a hygienist. I wasn't really sure what title to use for her when I made the post. Also, I am female, and a small one at that, which I somehow feel makes this funnier. Keep being awesome Reddit, and shout out to all the people who find farts just as funny as I do. The amount of people sitting down and eating a whole ass pack of granola bars is too damn high. Yeah, if a bar is dense I sometimes have trouble finishing one. I do some pretty serious backpacking and rock climbing and I can say pretty confidently that eating an entire box of granola bars would make me vomit. Hulse mending. I'm just impressed you had the courage to go back. I would have moved out of state just to avoid the embarrassment. One of the fillings he did hadn't sealed correctly, and he had told me it was bad enough that it would likely end up being a root canal anyway. So I kind of had to go back to him, since he had all the records and it was more of a follow-up. He's a great dentist, but if that weren't the case I probably would have found a different office. Walking back in there was so embarrassing. I am envisioning some of the rancid farts my husband does at times. He has actually made me throw up before. Honestly, I don't know how you were able to handle it. I feel like I would have gagged smelling it over and over, especially with things in my mouth like that. Sometimes at the dentist I will gag anyway if fingers or instruments go the wrong way. Plus if I vomit by being sick, I will almost always have a follow-up due to the smell of the first wave. I am actually kind of impressed. Oh, trust me, there were several times I considered tapping out. That hygienist was a trooper. She stayed longer than I would have and I don't blame her at all for leaving. And her making up an excuse instead of blaming it on me was a class act. A good rule of thumb is to always keep your mouth shut. Bit of a challenge at the dentist. Today I fucked up by having my husband examine me. This happened last night. I am 7 months pregnant and girl, it has been a ridiculous ride thus far. Second pregnancy and the symptoms just keep a coming. Two of those are 1, varicose veins in places I didn't know they could go, my whole vagina, vulva situation, and 2, prolapsed bladder, not a full prolapse but I can feel it happening and it is as unpleasant as it sounds. At this point in my pregnancy I can't see jack shit down there, and a mirror doesn't work super well. So my dear husband has been doing periodic investigations to reassure me that my organs are still mostly inside my body and give an update to the whole sitch. He's an incredibly funny man who has an expressive face, which is a big part of why it went off the rails. He's down there taking a look, and he is not holding back. He looks pained, like he's viewing a corpse, telling me, lovingly, as a joke, that it looks like a hamburger down there, and generally giving an unfavorable report. This is all too much for me and my raging hormones, which either having me laughing, crying, or murdering kittens. I start laughing uncontrollably, he won't stop with the jokes, and suddenly I let out a very long, sonorous fart, right in his face. He just says okay, gets up, and we both end up crying from laughing so hard from the ridiculousness of it all. End scene. Too long didn't read. My husband was sweetly examining my downstairs mix-up for rogue pregnancy symptoms when I farted in his face. He did not run after baby nor farting in his face. Definitely a keeper. Hofo SHO. I thought you were gonna pee on his open face, so this is better, thanks. I hate when my face is open. Velp, looks like vaginal Christmas came early for the both of you. Vaginal shitmass. Next time he's joking around about something, just respond to fart. I think I shall go with huff my duff, sir. Oh, thank you for that giggle. I'm sorry you've got rogue pregnancy symptoms and that the whole thing happened, but it's so funny. All the best for the rest of your pregnancy! Exclamation mark. Today I fucked up by using a fake name to sign up for a free trial. So I sign up for free trials of TV streaming services sometimes, mainly if there is an event or something I want to see. As a result I make up fake names, email addresses, and use privacy app to generate CC numbers to ensure I don't get charged unless I decide to keep the service. The random email was snarfthundercat@. And my first name as Snarf and last name as Thundercat. Yes, I'm a child of the 80s. So I had an issue with some of the channels I had ordered, so I had to call customer care, not even thinking about the name. Then I got connected with someone from India who asked me to certify my email and such. Then it dawned on me the info I had put. So for the next 15 minutes this nice Indian woman referred to me as Mr. Thundercat or simply Snarf when she wanted to be informal. I really think the name was lost upon her though, as she spoke to me without a chuckle, giggle or laugh. I myself must have raised my blood pressure by at least 20 points trying to suppress my laughter though. I could say I would never do this again, but Mr. Thundercat has such a nice ring to it. Too long didn't read. I used a fake name for TV services and an Indian call center lady had to refer to me as Snarf Thundercat. Well, now you have to make it official and legally change your name, Mr. Snarf Thundercat. Great story, wrong sub though. No fuck up here. You didn't fuck up. That's pure winning right there. I feel like that's more of a today I fucking won kind of thing. Years ago when I bought a fancy universal remote, I discovered that it required online activation to work, which required an account with a ridiculous amount of personal info. I made up everything. I made it as offensive as possible because I was pissed. And because even in my 30s I was still a 12-year-old boy at heart. I still am, but I was in my 30s too. Smile. Anyway, After trying for hours to set it up, I failed and had to call their support line. Of course they needed my account info. I started out telling them that I know this isn't their fault and I was angry at the company when I set up the account. They asked for my username. I told them it was fuck company name. They asked for my device name. I told them that it was fuck your mom. They asked for my password. I told them it was fuck your dog. Best part, they told me that the names I'd chosen weren't unique enough.